We're live. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are y'all doing? Welcome to Cliff Notes Live. Welcome to December 16th. Now, we do have one more show before Christmas, but what's that song say? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah, I've been busy. We got our tree up. We've got stockings up. I put some lights in the tree. We used to put lights up high on the roof. I'm not allowed to do that anymore. There's people who just think that I'll fall off the roof and break both my legs. Probably for the better. But we are certainly right here up to Christmas. So welcome to y'all. I hope y'all are doing fantastic. I know people in school are through with school. People who are working, some of y'all are just barely working, right? Yeah, it's one of those kind of things. It's a fun couple of weeks. It's almost as much fun as was when Big Brother premieres. I love my Christmas time. Get a chance to see the family and all of that. So we'll talk about that this evening. We got a special guest we're going to talk about as well in just a second. But before we go anywhere, before that, let me start off with the big old SKD 143. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love reality TV. I love you guys that come out here and join me every Monday night just to have fun. I kind of cyber YouTube live family. I wouldn't have it any other way. I thank you guys, all of you watching live and watching on repeat as well. Don't ever want to forget y'all. If you haven't already done so, I say this every week, but I'll continue to do so. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, turning on notifications, and hitting that old thumbs up because it's always appreciated. We're not in Big Brother season, so who knows? I don't know what other videos I may be posting here before long. We got some reality shows coming up. I got some projects I'm working on, so we'll just see what happens. If you subscribe and turn on your notifications, you get it all. All right, guys. I hope you're doing fantastic. It's winter time, but not really down here in Texas, guys. It's 80 degrees outside. So yeah, it's not quite feeling like Christmas temperature wise, but hey, twinkle lights all over. All right, let me go out here and see who's out here before I introduce my special guest for the evening. Patricia Miller. Patricia, how are you doing, my friend? An eye for horror with Big Jake 88. Jake, is that a new login ID? Welcome, Jake. How you doing, my friend? Maryland Sutherland as well. Hey, Maryland. Mark Taylor. Always happy to see you out here. Brian Hosteller. I watched the Cleveland Browns yesterday. Tough season for you guys. Karen Hummer as well. Karen, howdy. Cindy Hire, I hope you're doing fantastic. Carol Mosier, Ba, how are you doing? You back home, enjoying a few weeks off before school starts again, I hope. Lee Strike as well. Michelle Moore, I think I got that. Gideon. Ed, how are you doing, Ed? And let's see who else we've got here. That may be about it for now. Colton, I wasn't going to forget you. Chaz as well. Chaz, howdy. Tommy Braskett, Marshall Davis. And I think that's about it for now, or at least that's as far down as I can scroll. No, it's not. Linda Suar as well. All right, Linda, how are you? And Amy Bonner. All right, guys, hope y'all are all doing fantastic. I'll try to get to as many comments as I can. Yeah, kind of an open-ended night, although we do have a longtime listener, someone that I had the pleasure to meet. Well, I don't want to give all the stories away, but someone I did have a pleasure to meet earlier this summer. Without any further ado, most of y'all are going to know his name, but for those of you who don't, I have a feeling we got some stories coming up. Let me introduce a friend lives up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, my original hometown. Without further ado, Wyatt Garrett. Let me pull Wyatt in here, and I hope this works. Let's see. Yay! So far, so good. Wyatt, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, even better. I always think I got this technology figured out, but just when you get a little cocky with it, something comes and slaps you upside the head with it. So I'm glad it's all working. Glad that you're able to join me this evening, Wyatt. We've done this a few times before. It's been a while. I just appreciate the time that you're spending this evening, and we got a little special celebration as well, don't we? Just like Jasmine from Big Brother, this is Wyatt's birthday week. So happy birthday week to you, Wyatt.
Well, thank you.
You got all kinds of celebrations lined up.
Well, Saturday I'm having a birthday party because my birthday falls on Wednesday.
Right.
Friday night going to Billy Bob's for Kevin Fowler.
You and your music. I gotta tell you, I was over in up in Dallas Fort Worth. My mom passed a while back. We've been up there trying to clean and things like that. And we were actually up in Arlington and happened to just kind of spur of the moment, head over to the stockyards. Was it Saturday before last? Justin Boots has a boot outlet store over there. And I wanted to go check out the boots and see if they had any good exotics or anything to check out. So we got over there and then drove around just a little bit and then had to come back before the evening started. That place was hopping though. Man, the stockyards is a busy place.
Yes, sir. New Year's Eve, I'm going to the stockyards. I've never been here, but I'm looking forward to it. To the Cowtown Coliseum.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
finally getting to go check that out.
Is that a new arena?
You know, I'm not too sure.
Okay, it sounds like it has been there forever. I just don't remember it. I used to, in my younger days, spend a lot of time in the stockyards. We would hang out, go eat at Joe T. Garcia's. For those of you who don't know, and we'll move on to other things. This is all Fort Worth talk here, but we'd go eat Joe T's a lot, and then we'd go hang out in the White Elephant Saloon, and then there was a little dance place right on the corner of the Exchange and Main Street, I think, that we'd go there and kick the boots around and just have fun, kind of fitting in with everyone else. It was a lot of fun back in the day, but that place has really grown since then.
So, yeah, it definitely has grown. I've been in, I think, the White Elephant. I've been in there once.
Okay. So how many shows do you think you've seen there?
Oh.
Every time I talk to you, you've got some new show going on or some new music act that you're going to go see. And someone that you typically meet as well. I'm always impressed with that.
Oh, yes, sir. Like Tracy Bird, I've seen him many of times at Billy Bob's and other venues and met him the most, really.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Well, yeah, I always rely on you to give me my country music fix and information and update. But for those of you who don't know, I actually I've met a few of y'all out here. I look forward to meeting all of y'all, but I finally got a chance to meet Wyatt. And it wasn't over at Billy Bob's. It wasn't on a dance floor or anywhere else. Now it was in Arlington, and it was at the premiere of the Big Brother season 26. What was that? July? I can't remember what day that thing started, but Kat Dunn had her big premiere, and I went up for it. And Wyatt came over. I know it was a little bit of a drive for you, but it was a lot of fun getting the chance to say howdy to you and actually meet in person. And if y'all check out my Instagram reminder for the show, there's a picture of Wyatt and I posing together. It was I'm glad we got the chance to do that, Wyatt.
I know that was fun because you were actually the one who told me about it. I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, it was there were a lot of people there. I've spent the whole night. I go to those things. I don't even get a chance to watch the show because I just spend the whole night talking to people and everything else. But we had a lot of fun. Are you a Big Brother fan? Do you watch a lot of Big Brother?
Oh, yes, sir. I am a Big Brother fan and Survivor.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that because we're going to be talking a little bit of Survivor. Let me go look at some questions real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about that. I want to get your thoughts on some of this stuff. All right, to Wyatt saying, who would win in a guitar fight, Matt Meliano or Brendan Small?
I'm gonna go with Matt.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you because I gotta say I'm country music. I'm big into the lead singers and all that, the steel guitars and the fiddles in the back and all of that. I don't necessarily know nearly as much about the supporting folks on there. So who does he play for? Is he in particular?
I can't think of who he plays for, right?
Man, Ma coming with the deep country music question there. Congrats to you, Ma. That's I know you're musical, band and all of that, so I shouldn't be surprised. But yeah, okay. So there you go. First question of the evening for you, Wyatt. All right, let's see what else we got. Ed is saying, okay, Wyatt, what did you think of Chelsea's win? Let's see. And who was Survivor? Hold on a second. And then Mark saying, was wrong about my choice for winner Survivor. who do you have winning the money? And Carol, lots of Survivor question. And Carol Mosier saying, who's going to win Survivor? So first of all, what you think about this last episode? We lost two folks that pretty big players, huh?
They were big players, but I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Rachel.
Yeah. I think she's the strongest. I mean, she's got quite the resume. She keeps winning these competitions. So, yeah, if not her, well, let me ask this question: if you're Rachel, if you win this final immunity challenge, and I keep wondering, they've got that challenge where the balls roll and you have to grab one and stick it on, then the other, and back and forth. They haven't had that yet. I'm just wondering if that's going to be the final four, and if it is, I could see Rachel easily winning that thing. If you're Rachel, who are you going to send to make fire, and who are you going to drag with you to the final two or final three?
Oh man, I think to send to fire, Sam.
Yeah,
and probably Sue.
I don't know how Sue does. As much soot and everything she has on her face, she ought to be an expert at making fire, but I don't know if one translates to the other. I have thought back and forth on it. I talked to my kids about it a little bit, and I still don't know if I was her. I think, and I was thinking the same thing you were, that I'd probably send Sam, but I heard an interesting comment that if it was Rachel, if she took Sam to the final two, that's one less thing that he's got to put on his resume as far as votes. I feel like Sam maybe is the strongest vote besides Rachel. So anything she can do to maybe cut back on that would help. So maybe sending Sue and Teeny to make fire, and because I don't think either one of them beats Rachel in a vote. If Sam makes fire and then can say, hey, I'm only here because I did this at the end, I kind of still think Rachel wins, but I don't know. It's going to be fun. These last few episodes it's been so much fun. I really enjoyed it. So, what'd you think about Andy going home?
I was surprised, and I don't know. I was just surprised that he went. I thought he might have been in the final three.
I did. I think he got a little ahead of himself. As much as he seemed to play a good game, I feel like right there at the second, when he started talking about that they were going to send Rachel home and all of that, I just feel like he was thinking not about the next vote because he didn't know she had a immunity aisle or anything. I think he was just trying to do jury management, maybe just a little bit too early, and it came up and bit him on the rear end. The smallest thing can just cause issues for you. I really thought he was getting quite the edit after the first couple episodes that were leading him to at least the final three. So I agree with you. I thought he was headed that way, but just didn't quite happen, did it?
No, sir.
All right. So Karen Hummer is saying, I hear a lot about Billy Bob's. Is it a bar, a restaurant? Why not? Yeah, Billy Bob's is world famous. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what Billy Bob's is?
So it is the world's largest honky tonk, and it does have a restaurant in it, and it's also a bar.
Okay, a big bar, huh?
Big bar.
And a big stage for music acts and everything else. Do they still do bull riding there? I know they used to.
But on Friday and Saturdays at 8:30 and 9:30.
Okay, all right. Have you ever done any kind of rodeo before?
No, sir, I haven't. But I do like to go to rodeos.
I do too. I love watching. Not so much not so much doing. The closest I came on a trip to Acapulco once, I did ride a mechanical bull, and didn't last that long. We had it on the hardest setting, and I fell off about as quick as I got on. So it was a quick little ride for me, but yeah, I got no desire. I've been to too many rodeos. I've seen too many of those cowboys getting stepped on and thrown around and all that kind of stuff. But I do love me a rodeo. We go, y'all got the Fort Worth stock show up there and all that. We got the rodeo, Houston rodeo down here. I grew up going to the one in Fort Worth so many years in a row.
That's coming up next month, the Fort Worth Stock Show.
Wow. Do you know who I saw at the Fort Worth Stock Show when I was a kid performing after the rodeo itself? I remember two different performers. One was Sons of the Pioneers, which I don't know that much by them, but they were one of my dad's favorites. And so he made sure to take us when Sons of Pioneers were there. But the other one that we heard while one of the rodeo performances was Tanya Tucker.
Wow.
with Delta Donna. I think she started when she's 16 or so. She wasn't that much older when I saw her in concert. So yeah, they have some cool acts there every once in a while.
Yeah, I'd like to come to the Houston rodeo. That's on my bucket list.
Oh, it's a big one. It's a lot of fun. We had tickets. I can't remember who it was we were going to see in 2020. And yeah, I'd done Big Brother. I'd been locked away. I was like, man, I finally get to go to the rodeo, wear my cowboy hat where I'm just going to fit in with everyone else. We were all ready to go. And right, I think the first or second day after the rodeo had started was when COVID finally got bad and they shut the whole thing down. And little did I know that for the rest of that year, there wasn't going to be a rodeo. There wasn't going to be anything else whatsoever. It's hard to believe we did that back then, huh?
It is.
All right, let's see. Rip Rutledge is saying, hey, Cliff, we need to get Wyatt on Big Brother. He's dying to meet Leah. Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that. If you want to hear myself sing, he's on stage at Sam's Barbecue at Private Bar on Wednesday nights. Oh, I have seen a few videos with you singing a few songs here and there, Wyatt. So I've heard little bits and pieces. And then Michelle Moore is saying, can Wyatt sing for us? All right, you got a line or two of your favorite song that you're ready to get out there and do?
Oh.
I feel like getting put on the spot. Huh?
That is.
All right, I may come back a little bit later and ask. I'm still waiting for Ma to play Cheeseburger in Paradise on the show. We're gonna get that one of these days, and we'll get you singing as well. I'm not big. I'm glad Big Brother was not allowing folks to sing because that probably wouldn't advance me very far on the show itself. That's not my thing so much. But you obviously do a lot of karaoke on those Wednesday nights, huh?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know it was the same place every night. I've seen some of your clips. I just realized it was a constant, continual thing.
Yes, sir. And I'm actually having karaoke at my birthday party Saturday night.
Oh, all right. You got a favorite song that you sing? Let me see.
Rodney Atkins, These Are My People.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. That's appropriate. I like that one. All right. Hunter Green is saying that he's got a gold badge. I assume, Hunter, that's at the Houston Rodeo. I don't know if Fort Worth does something similar, but if you got the chairman's badge and things like that here in Houston, big deal. Get you in all the fancy places and all of that. Yeah, we got a few rodeo folks on there. Someone mentioned getting you on Big Brother. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Would you ever do Big Brother? Would you do reality TV?
You know, I've thought about it, but I don't know if I could. I don't know. I don't know if I could.
I could. You know who you remind me of, and I hope you take this the right way. I could see you like a Donnie Thompson from season 16.
I did like Donnie on season 16.
I just see you as just the good-natured guy that everyone just falls in love with in there. And now he surprised a lot of people because once he got in there, he was charismatic. Everyone loved the guy. But he won a few competitions and stuff. Well, too. I mean, it wasn't just a social game for him, and he surprised some folks like that. I could see you taking Donnie's place in one of these seasons. Wyatt.
One of my other favorites. He was on 17 and 18, which James.
Which one was that? I'm trying to think. Oh, Hewling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now he lives not that far from. He's up in Wichita Falls, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I have not met him yet. He's one of the ones that. Yeah, he was one of my favorites too. In fact, when I auditioned, I mentioned his name and said, yeah, he was always in there playing pranks and hiding and things like that, and I kind of thought that was cool. I think some people, I don't know. I think you're either really hot or really cold on James Hewling, whether you like him or not. But yeah, he's one of the guys that lives in the North Texas area that I wish I'd had a chance to meet, and I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But yeah, one of these days, I could see a little James Hewling in you as well. Oh, now I got to make it happen. Now I got to figure out a way to get you on the shot. Not like I have any influence or stroke. I don't even know the casting people anymore. But if I could make it happen, how much fun would we have if we just took the folks who sit here every Monday night and talk and a part of Cliff Notes Live? If we could just create a Big Brother 16 out of the folks that we got on here. I don't know who would win at the end, but I know we'd have a lot of fun for a few months playing the game. So you watch Big Brother, you watch Survivor, any other reality shows that you're big into?
Well, so my other show that I watched, they just had the season finale last week, The Voice.
Oh yeah. We watch a lot of The Voice too. I was big in American Idol when it was big, and now we haven't watched that in quite a few years. But yeah, The Voice. I wasn't sure how it was going to be without Blake Shelton on there, but Snoop Dogg's been kind of fun. I've enjoyed him so far.
Yeah, of course, I was hoping Reba, her team, someone off her team would have won.
Yeah. So you always cheering on the country singers on that, or just whoever is the best, you think?
The country singers.
Yeah, I could see that. All right. Ma and Marilyn are saying they love James Hewling. Yeah, I did too. You said James. I had to think about it because there was another James from earlier season. Remember pink-haired James? It was certainly not a country guy. He was a little different kind of guy, if I recall. But now that you mentioned it, James was great. That was a lot of fun. All right, Christy Rutledge is saying, "Come on, Wyatt, sing a Wynn Williams song." And Rich Rutledge is saying he does a great rendition of "Christmas Cookies" by George Strait. Yeah, they're putting the pressure on you, Wyatt. You can either do it now or you can do it towards the end of the show. But I think one or the other we may end up having to do it. So I'll leave it up to you as to when you want to put yourself.
Well, funny they're talking about Wynn Williams, because he's a friend of mine. And we grew up together in Weatherford. So.
Oh, okay, all right. And I knew you're from Weatherford, which is why I really appreciated that you came in for that Big Brother premiere. For those of you who don't know, Weatherford it's the next city over from Fort Worth, I guess, more or less. Palo Pinto and County or whatever, and then. I'm trying because I used to work in Breckenridge when I first started working in the oil field, which is a little further out than Weatherford was. But I spent many a weekend driving back and forth through Weatherford. And if I recall, there was one McDonald's there on the main highway to always stop at. That was my salvation coming off those oil rigs and all of that. But I like Weatherford. Yeah, y'all's little town square, little courthouse in the middle has always been just a great, good old small town kind of representation.
Yes, sir.
So Weatherford's the cutting capital of the world, Hunter Green saying. I can't say that I'm actually surprised whatsoever. I like that part of Texas. It was, Fort Worth. People always say where the West begins is Fort Worth. That's where the stockyards, and from there on out, it's all oil and cattle and everything else. And to some degree, I think that's probably true. When I was a kid, I was in Boy Scouts, and we'd go to summer camp at Camp Worth, which was on the Brazos River there in Palo Pinto County and all that. It's a great way to spend a summer. Had a blast doing it. So, all right, let's see what else we've got on here. Crazy James from season 9 and I for Horror saying, yeah, okay, season 9. He won the battle back. In fact, I think he may be one of the few that won the battle back and then maybe won HOH the same night. I feel like he and I may have that as a tied record on being able to do that. So, all right, let's see. Are you a fan of Zach Top?
I do like Zach Top.
Okay. All right. Does he play there? Have you seen him in concert before?
I haven't seen him. He just played at Billy Bob's in October. I went the night after he played, but his show was sold out.
Oh, okay. So how do you meet all these guys? Because you keep having these pictures posted. You're posing back. I don't know if it's backstage or after the show, but it seems like everyone you see, every concert you see, you're managing to get back there and see these folks.
So some of them go to their merch table after the show, or or like Joe Nichols, he if you buy a shirt, CD, or a hat, you'll get
Yeah,
a meet and greet pass.
that's cool. We did that. Walker Hayes, we saw him over in Louisiana. It's so funny because I think of him as he's kind of broken out. I mean, he's a pretty big deal nowadays, it seems like. And but his family still, his son was working the merchandise table, selling all the shirts and everything. So I guess he said, "Yeah, you can travel with me on the road and all that, but you're going to be working while you're doing it." So, so his family was working the tables and all that. And then later they're up on stage dancing with him on one. I can't remember which song it was, but Applebee's or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of cool that they do those shows and they get to have the family with them, all of that. It's got to be tough touring around, hitting these sites every weekend, doing your singing and all that. But God, like I say, every time I look at a post, you're posting with someone new. It makes me a little bit jealous that you've met so many of these folks.
I know one of my favorites. I'm actually getting to see him twice already next year. Aaron Watson.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't seen him, but I certainly know his music. That's cool. I actually had a cousin who was a country singer for a while. A guy named Clint Martin. You can go out on for any of you want. Go out to Spotify and search for Clint Martin. And he's got a couple of albums he put out. One was called "I'm in the Doghouse Again." That's kind of my favorite. Guy coming home, getting in trouble once again, sleeping with the dog out in the doghouse. Anyway, he tried to make a go of it. He traveled around for a couple of years singing and all of that, and we saw him in quite a few venues. Eventually settled down, had a family, and just decided it wasn't quite didn't quite work, family and trying to do the singing at the same time. But he still has a few songs out there. That's the closest brush to fame I got. You you talked to a few more people than that, Wyatt. So, all right, let's see what else we've got on here. Hunter Green. All right, asking me this, who are your predictions for Rodeo Houston lineup? Oh gosh, every year I say, well, let's get George Strait in. Man, it's always a little tough to do. Lainey Wilson, maybe. Cody Johnson seems like he's done the rodeo here for the last couple of years. Blake Shelton. I would like to see Blake Shelton come back. I've only seen him perform once, and he was down here at the rodeo, Wyatt, but he had the flu. He came on and he said, "Look, guys, I apologize. I'm feeling really down, but I'm not going to let y'all down. I'm still going to perform and all that, but just please bear with me." And he did the best he could, but it wasn't quite the energy that you normally get. He was. I know he's got to be hurting, but I've always liked a little Blake Shelton music as well. So, who's a performer that you haven't seen, maybe big time, because you're talking about Houston Rodeo? Someone that if they were down here at the rodeo, would say, "Man, I'm there. That's where I'm headed."
I would have to say Blake Shelton because I've seen Blake. Parker McCollum.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
And Luke Combs.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I like Luke Combs. I like a lot of his music. We get Taylor Swift in here. You think that wouldn't sell out in milliseconds?
Oh, I'm sure that would definitely sell out.
We actually saw Taylor Swift. We saw her at the rodeo, but it was when she'd already done her love story and some of her first songs, but not before she just blew up the way she did. But we actually went and saw her in concert at the rodeo, and she did a heck of a job. I was very impressed. We've seen a few interesting acts. We saw Barry Manilow at the rodeo, which is not who you normally expect to see. We saw the Black Eyed Peas, who just did a phenomenal show. But we also saw Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, wow.
He was great. He was loud, man. I felt bad for my kid. I felt bad that I was causing my kids to go deaf. He was so loud, but that was some good music there. All right, Rich is saying Chris Stapleton. Have you seen Chris Stapleton yet? He's kind of big time, isn't he?
He is. I have not seen Chris Stapleton. I can't get into Chris Stapleton's music that much.
Really? I bet I like some of his others. I don't know. It's like a lot of the country music. I like the George Straits and all of that, but there's a part of me now that kind of likes to go a little bit more. I don't know, they call it red dirt, and I guess I don't know. I just like the little bit more old school. Take away a little of the pop from it, and a little bit more the the music, the way I always say it, if I could be sitting in a bar and drinking a beer and playing dominoes and have that in the background and be happy, that's all I care about. I don't need any fancy jingles or anything else. Just something that makes me feel at home when I'm sitting in a bar playing some 42. So, all right, let's see what else. We just kind of glossed over Survivor. I know we talked about it and then we moved on because it's all about the music. Misfire saying, I want Rachel or Sam to win Survivor. I think Rachel's got a lot of support, doesn't she? I just don't see Teeny doing it. Talking about someone who just hadn't quite gotten the game figured out, right? She just couldn't. Even last week, it was the whole deal with Genevieve was saying that she admitted, she said, "Oh, I got the idol's fake." Yeah, you got me. The idol's fake, but you still didn't know who to trust. That's such a cutthroat game. But the fact that they still voted out Genevieve at that point in time tells me that Teeny thought it was a real idol and they were just pulling her leg. But obviously Sue and Rachel thought differently since they both voted Genevieve out. But if I recall, I think that Teeny voted Sam instead. So she still wasn't on the same page even last week. So if I'm any one of the other people, I think I'm taking Teeny with me to the final two. I don't know. I just got through saying I'd take Sam. It's a little bit like my season when we had that final four and trying to decide how in the world are you going to navigate this stuff, knowing that no matter what you do, it could absolutely blow up in your face. There's no easy solution. You just have to win. As long as you win and you make it to the final three, at least you got a chance to preach your case and everything else. So would you talked about Big Brother. Would you do Survivor?
I've thought about doing Survivor. For 26 days, I think I can do Survivor.
26 days sounds a lot better than 3.5 months on Big Brother. I mean, I'm glad I did it. But it's funny because when reality TV first came out, I was always saying, yeah, I'd do Survivor, but there's no way I'm going to go in a house with those knuckleheads for 3.5 months. That is way too long. And then things just worked out the way they did and, whatever. But yeah, I watched this whole season and they're saying, oh, it's been 20 something days. It's like, 20 something days. We just barely were in week 3 of Big Brother. That was nothing for us. But they're out there hungry and cold and everything moves so much faster on Survivor than on Big Brother. All right. Noah Lemons is saying, what do you think is Sue's path to victory? What do you think? Do you think there's any chance, Wyatt, that Sue could win this thing?
For Sue to win the game, she would have to take out Rachel.
I think you're right. I think she needs that huge resume move. I hadn't thought about that, but I think you're right on that. I think Sue could beat Tina. And now remember, Sue's got some friends on that jury. It's not that she doesn't have a good social game, and she's got some people that if they're voting just on who they like the most, she's got a few votes built in. If they're voting based on truly on who they think played the best game, who knows? But I feel like Sue could probably beat Teeny in a vote. It's just who would she want to go up against, Rachel or Sam? I think you're right, though. I think she almost would have to. Well, she can't. At this point, she can't boot Rachel. There's no more evictions. It would just have to be minimize what she's doing. Maybe it's kind of what I said earlier with Sam. Maybe if Sue won this final immunity and she drugged Rachel, well, I don't know. She could drag Rachel to the final 2, but that's probably pretty dangerous. I almost feel like you'd have to send her to the fire challenge and hope that that Teeny or Sam beat her and send her out that direction. It's gonna be tough for Sue. I don't see an easy path at all. All right, Misfire saying Sue will lose in tribal fire? Question mark. I don't know. I haven't really seen how she does on the fire or not. Carol Mosher is saying definitely take Teeny to the end. I agree, absolutely agree with that. And Ed is saying Sue has to beat Rachel in fire. That's kind of what you said. Take out Rachel. That is the way to do it. So here's a scenario for you. What if Sue was to win immunity but knowing that she really has to do something big in order to win this whole thing, she chose to go fire making challenge with Rachel and let Teenie and Sam go to the final two and bank it up. You think she'd ever do that?
That would be a big move. That's what she should do if she wins that final immunity.
I think that's interesting. That's fair. I think that's who you said that. That's interesting. I think that would gain a whole heck of a lot of respect from that jury if she did something like that. I feel like at this point in time, I mean, who wants to play for second or third place? You can't play it safe. I think you've got to, even if it's risky. I think, which for some of them means going to the fire challenge. I just feel like it should be for most of them all or nothing. Yeah, I'm either going to win first, or I don't care whether I go out with fire making or not. So with that mindset, that would just be perfect. I would love to see Sue take control of the game and do something like that and just say, hey, I'll go up against the best and I'll beat them and I'll send them out the door. And I've been cheering for her just because she's the older person on the tribe. I don't think she's got the inside track the way Rachel does and maybe Sam does, but I could see it. Would you be okay with a Sue victory?
I think, I'd be okay with a Sue victory.
I think I'd be all right with it. It would be a surprise. This whole season's been a surprise though. So why not just carry it on to the very end? All right, Misfire is saying Wyatt for Deal or No Deal Island or for the Traders USA. They're coming up with all kinds of shows for you now. Before you know it, we're going to have you on The Bachelor and a few other shows as well. So just be ready for that one, Wyatt. Do you watch Deal or No Deal Island?
I've seen one episode of it. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, but it actually turned into a little more strategy than I thought from a show like Deal or No Deal, which the game show was just pure random. Which one are you going to pick? But yeah, okay, all right. We'll put you up for a few of them. I don't know if you got a chance to meet her. Have you ever met Meg Malley? I think is her last name.
I did the Big Brother premiere. I met her.
Yeah, she's married to Mike Holloway, who won Survivor. He's oil field worker and all of that. She's big into casting. I don't know which show she casts, but I know that she has cast some. And then, of course, Kat Dunn, who I was on Big Brother with, she does a little casting as well. When she's not hobnobbing at fancy places and wearing the fancy clothing and all of that, which she's makes quite the business doing that as well. But yeah, you actually were there with a few casting folks. So next time we'll have to get up in the front during the commercials of the next Big Brother premiere. We'll get up and we'll do some duet karaoke or something, and we'll either get thrown out or probably you may get on The Voice. I ain't getting on The Voice, but we'll either get thrown out or they'll give you a card for The Voice, or maybe we'll make it on some reality show and have fun doing that.
That sounds fun.
All right, Hunter's saying I've had a 10-minute conversation with Cody Johnson. That's pretty cool, and been on Parker McCollum's tour bus, and Buddy, who is an LD for Jelly Roll. That's pretty cool. All right, you've hopped up, Hunter. We're gonna have to get a little posse together one of these days. Make that happen. You talk about being on tour buses and all that. All I think is from Pure Country, where what Buddy is on I guess I saw Buddy on there. All I was thinking as I read that was Buddy on George Strait's tour bus, except his name was Dusty in the movie. But did you watch that? Do you like
That's one of my favorite movies.
I've watched it so many times. I just feel like I know, why did that chicken just get off that stage? Yeah, go on, get the hell out of here. I feel like I've watched so many times. I know all of them. I love that show. I watched it a lot. You know what else we watched? Was really cool. Why? And I don't know if you've watched it. Yeah, I keep pushing it on this show. But Landman with Billy Bob Thornton. We watched the episode that was on last night. It showed so much of Fort Worth. It was really cool. just showing the skyline and different things. And they did a lot of local filming for that series, so that was kind of neat.
I haven't seen that.
It's good. I think it's on, I don't know, CMT or something, then Paramount as well. But I'm sure it's by the what's his name, Taylor Sheridan, that did Yellowstone in 1923 and all that. And it kind of hits home for me because it's all about the wool field. So that's got some of my history and all of that. So you never worked a wool field, have you?
No, sir.
Good. That was hard work, and I got out of that. Well, I say got out of that. I did a lot, but I had so much respect for those guys did that, and I still got all 10 fingers, which, well, sort of, yeah. No, I got all 10 fingers, which was a bit of an anomaly for oil field workers. All right, let's see. Misfire saying, why not play trivia on the Kelly and Mark show? How are you at trivia, Wyatt? Yeah, they still come up with shows for you.
No, we're good.
Yeah, because Misfire, are you the one that's doing trivia on Kelly and Mark? Someone wrote to me, and I just, for life of me, I can't remember. It's been a few days, but yeah, you big into the trivia shows? You do karaoke? Do you go to the bar trivia any?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Misfire saying my episode aired last week. All right, good. Well, Misfire, I missed the episode. I may have it on DVR. Feel like they always record, so we may have to check out. But give us a hint. How'd you do, and what kind of questions did you ask, or did they ask you on that? I'm much more partial, Wyatt, to the trivia than I am to the karaoke. Okay, I don't feel like I'm going to get thrown out of a bar for giving a bad answer on trivia, but bad karaoke may be a different situation. All right, I got a little story for y'all, for you, Wyatt. You know Russell Hantz from Survivor, right?
Yes, sir.
The villain. They had, I think it was Winners at War's Survivor season. And they had a premiere party down here in Houston. And so we went, and Karishma was there. So maybe it wasn't Winners. Anyway, Karishma from Survivor was there, and I was there, and Abraham, Carl Boudreaux, lots of Survivor folks were at this little deal. When we got done, they they were doing karaoke, and I just kind of, like when you were there with me, I was talking to so many people that I just kept on talking to people, and someone ordered up a karaoke song by Lizzo. I don't even know the song. Feeling Good as Hell. Feeling Good as Hell, because they played that song over and over while I was in the Big Brother house. Like every third or fourth day, it seems like that song was playing to wake us up in the morning. So I will always think about that song and connect it to my Big Brother season. Well, I mentioned that to someone. So they turned around and ordered that as a karaoke song. And then I felt bad that they spent money on it. So I had to go up there and sing Feeling Good as Hell by Lizzo, and just butchered it. Did a horrible, horrible job. Nails done. Feeling good as hell. Not great. And I looked down, and Russell Hantz had shown up, and I don't even remember if I'd met him before that time. He was down there laughing at me. I thought, God, I can't believe I'm sitting there singing Lizzo karaoke, and here's this guy from Survivor, a villain from Survivor, that's sitting there laughing at me up on stage doing that. And that's probably the last karaoke I've done. So you're probably a little braver than I am, Wyatt, when it comes to singing in public, because I wouldn't have done it there if it hadn't been for someone just really insisting on me doing it. But all right, let's go ahead.
One of my favorite Survivor players, he won season 35, and he was on Winners at War, Ben.
Oh, yeah. I met Ben over in Orlando once. I can't really say I had a chance to talk to him too much. But yeah, I remember Ben. He did a pretty good job of it. I like Ben. I like Mike Holloway because he was oil field in Texas and all of that as well. I tend to cheer on the folks who I can kind of relate to a little bit more. But yeah, I do remember Ben. He was on. Did he do one of those challenge seasons? I feel like the world challenge or something.
He did the first challenge, the season 1 challenge USA, because it got hurt at the end.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I knew he'd done it. I just couldn't remember the details. details of it. Okay. Yeah, it was. It's so cool going to these things and meeting a few of those folks. But I gotta say, Wyatt, of everyone I met, and I met Jessica and Cody were there from Big Brother and Survivor and our Amazing Race, not Survivor. They were there, and some other folks. Maria Gonzalez from Survivor. Was it last season? 2 seasons ago was there. I think it was just last season.
It was.
But I gotta say, I was most happy to see you there, Wyatt. That meant more than the other folks. Just to, as much as we've talked online, to actually make it happen in person. Kind of cool, kind of special to finally get a chance to meet. So, got you taken care of. Now there's only about 30 or 40 other folks that I need to travel around and do some visiting a little bit. Noah Lemons saying, Cliff, are you watching House of Villains? No, it's on my list. I just haven't gotten to it. I've heard good things about it. And I know is Wes on there. I know a few folks that I watch from other shows are on there, but just haven't gotten a chance to do it. All right, let's see. An eye for horror with Big Jake 88. All right, Jake. Who's your favorite character from Rudolph? Mine is Yukon Cornelius. All right, do you remember Rudolph White, the TV show?
I do remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Me too. Rudolph is the one with the elf who wants to be a dentist, right? If I got him correct. And if not, Jake, tell me I'm wrong. But all I remember from that one is maybe I remember Cornelius a little bit, and the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, or whatever they call the mountain, the snow troll or whatever. Yeah, I guess I need to go back and watch some of my Christmas specials. I'm not quite in the Christmas spirit yet if I can't remember that. So we'll see. All right, now Wyatt, last week we talked about, and I don't remember getting a comment from you. Favorite Christmas movie? Do you have one?
Oh, I do. It's Tim Allen, the Santa Claus.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm right there with you. Not so much the later ones, Jack Frost or Santa Claus 4, 5, 6, whatever. But the original one, yeah, I enjoyed that one. I wasn't expecting that much out of it. And it was a class. I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't think we mentioned it last week when we were talking about it. I feel bad enough that I forgot to mention Elf, but yeah, the Santa Claus is definitely. I thought you were going to say Christmas with the Cranks, which is another one he did. Which
I like that one too.
I like that one, but that's nowhere near the Santa Claus. Heck, I feel like the Santa Claus. I just overnight suddenly I started getting gray hairs and a big old belly that shakes when I laugh and all of that. I may not have done it as quick as Tim Allen did on that show, but I'm slowly evolving into my own form of Santa Claus. I just need to be growing the beard. Maybe who knows what'll happen. So, what are you doing for Christmas? You got plans with the family, or y'all? Well, I don't know. I was gonna say football. I know the Texans are playing on Christmas Day. I don't know what the Cowboys are up to.
The Cowboys are playing Sunday night against Tampa Bay, so they're playing.
Okay.
Christmas, I'm not sure yet what our plans are.
We aren't either. We're kind of up in the air a little bit. We got kids in other cities and trying to figure that out, and extended family and all of that. We may extend Christmas out over a few days to do things. That I asked about the Cowboys because I know we talked about maybe going to see the Cowboys Texans. Didn't quite work out Monday night and all of that, but I think you were watching you were at the Cowboys game last week, weren't you? Last Monday.
I was, yes, sir.
So y'all go to a lot of Cowboys games then?
We do.
That's an incredible stadium. I've been to one Cowboys game in Jerry World in the new stadium. Quite a few high school football games, which are big down here in the state of Texas. But I'm just amazed at that stadium every time I walk in there.
Yeah, I went to a couple of years ago. I went to one of the state football games there. So that was
okay. Yeah, it's a great stadium. Even if the light shines in. What was that? Jerry Jones complaining about something. The Cowboys had a little rough season, but they took care of business yesterday. All right, for those of you who care, and I know none of y'all care, but I'll mention anyway. I'm in the playoffs for my fantasy football. The first round of the playoffs. As soon as I get through here, I got to check out the Monday night football games because I'm within a couple of points of my opponent for the week. If I win this week, I get to play next week for the championship game. And again, it doesn't matter to anyone except myself, because it doesn't matter whether I'm playing Big Brother for $500,000 or playing fantasy football just for bragging rights. Either way, I want to win at the end of the day. So I'll be checking that out once we shut down here. Do you do? Yeah, it sounds like you're big into to football. You big into other sports as well?
So like college football and college baseball.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of college baseball. So who's your team?
So for college baseball, it's TCU.
I got a lot of family that went to TCU. I grew up cheering for TCU, so right there with you. So, all right, yeah, I'm huge into college baseball. TCU's had a good team for many a year. They had a game or two where they absolutely broke my Aggies' heart. some long inning type games and all of that.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah. 2 days. Well, December 27th, I'm going to the Armed Forces Bowl game at TCU Stadium. So.
Is that Army? I assume Army versus someone, huh?
Navy and OU.
Really? I guess Army got so good they're going to a bigger bowl game then, huh?
That's what I'm guessing. I went last year to the Armed Forces Bowl, my first college football game. It was Air Force and James Madison.
Okay. All right. Did you watch the Army-Navy game on Saturday?
I saw a little bit of it.
Hey, it's pretty incredible watching all those cadets. They get into the game. They were definitely cheering and screaming, and I mean, not just the players. They're hardcore into it. It's such a rivalry, but all the ones on the in the stands that are all wearing the same wool coats and everything, and it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive knowing they're doing that, and here in just a few years they're going to be in the military doing God knows why. Chasing down drones in New Jersey and shooting them down. I guess that seems like that's the biggest concern we got right now, right? So, all right. Well, 7:50. I knew it was going to go fast, and we still haven't heard you sing. So, it's your last chance if you want to. If not, we're going to have to save it for another week. But I'm here if you want to, Wyatt.
I don't know if I can.
All right. I won't put you on the spot like that, but we'll chase it down some other day. Meanwhile, I know it's a couple of days early, but if I didn't say so earlier, happy birthday to you. I hope Wednesday is a fantastic day, and then Kevin Fowler and everyone else right after that. It sounds like you got everything lined up, and you're good to go.
Yes, sir.
Well, make sure when you celebrate that birthday, you do a little extra celebrating just for everything that's good in order. So let me ask you this question real quick. How is it having a birthday so close to Christmas? I guess you're 1 week away, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that you like that, or you gotta get gypped on some of the gifts sometimes, or
no? Because I get presents on my birthday and presents at Christmas. So.
All right. So you cash in December then.
Sure, I do.
I know I always talk to Nicole Anthony, who was on Big Brother with. Her birthday is the day after Christmas. Wonder if that's why her name's Nicole. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So she always said it was kind of tough that she'd get gifts, but then typically she'd get other gifts. Hopefully, sometimes not. But I always wonder the people who celebrate birthdays so close to Christmas, whether it's something they enjoy. It's not like they gave you a choice, right?
Nope.
just be happy that you're here and able to celebrate anyway. So, all right. Well, Wyatt, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Thank you. And happy birthday to you. I'll be thinking about you Wednesday. Do a little celebrating for me. Get out there and have some fun. And I know you'll have fun this weekend as well. Next time I'm up in the Stockyards, I'm going to give you a shout. I'd love to. Not that I'll rely on you being the tour guide, but I just have a feel that you know what's going on there. So I may chase you down and get some help from you. I look forward to hanging with you in the Stockyards one of these days. In the meanwhile, happy birthday to you, and celebrate your birthday while you're watching Survivor, I guess.
Yes, sir. And thank you, Cliff, for having me on. This has been.
I wouldn't have it any other way. This is one of my favorite things. Y'all know I like to talk. I don't mind sitting here and just talking to myself. Lord knows I've done it enough times. It's always more fun when I get someone to interact with, especially someone, a loyal friend, true friend. I'm so fortunate I got to do that show. So I got to meet so many folks, including, someone such as yourself, Wyatt. Otherwise, we would have never met. So this is a very, very fortunate situation. I'm very appreciative of it. So thank you. Happy birthday to you. And with that, I think we'll shut down. Big ol' SKD 143. Love my wife. Love my kids. Reality TV. Wyatt, love you as well. Thank you so much for being on here. If you haven't done so before already, subscribe, notify, and thumbs up is always appreciated. Do not forget Wednesday's episode of Survivor. What are we going to do after that's over? I guess we've got Amazing Race coming up January 30th, I think, or somewhere coming up. And we got a few other shows as well. We'll talk about all of it before long. But next Monday, we'll certainly be talking about Survivor. I think it's Rachel's to lose, but we'll see what happens. But until then, y'all stay warm or stay cool if you're down. It's hot up there in Texas and Fort Worth too, I imagine, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got a heat wave coming. And maybe it'll change before Christmas times. We get white Christmases here every once in a while. But guys, y'all have a great Monday evening. Have a great rest of the week. We'll be here Monday, almost Christmas Eve, a day short of Christmas Eve. Until then, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Wyatt, happy birthday to you again. And thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll talk to y'all later, guys. Cheers.